And the last word is very important. Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Sringar, Chari as 4 rasas. And then Chari Bhavera Bhakta Yata Krishna Tare Vas. Lord Krishna comes under the control of the devotees who are engaged in this specific rasa, especially. He becomes obliged. How he becomes obliged, and we'll look at the example so that we can understand how we can go back home, back to Godhead. So that way we can actually release this particular aspect of this out of five, four prominent. Now we'll chant the Mangalacharana. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं देवतारं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपासिन्धुभ्य च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। नमाचर हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। श्री रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर भक्तों की जय। Chaitanya Charitamrita, so Adi Leela, chapter 3. We'll start with verse number 1, because always verse number 1 has a wonderful prayers. Before that also we'll quote the verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Anti Leela, chapter 12, title called Talks between Jagadananda Pandit and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It gives the essence why we should hear and read. Sruyatam Nityam. Everyday practitioner of Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, Bhakti practitioner. One should hear regularly, Sruyatam Nityam. Chintyatam, no, Giyatam Muda. One should hear regularly and then one should sing also regularly what is hearing. Chintitam Nityam. No, Sruyatam Nityam. Giyatam Muda. Chintitam Bhaktas Chaitanya Charitamritam. So one should hear, one should sing, one should meditate with great happiness the characteristics of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that verse we should know, we should contemplate on that verse, because that's why when we look at Devaki Nandan Thakur, like Narottam Das Thakur prayer, also submits like Devaki Nandan Thakur submits in his prayer in his beautiful song. I think Yai Vaishnava Jana. I think he will be submitting first to devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Vrindavan. Then he will submit to devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. Then he will submit to devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Mayapur. And then he will submit all the devotees, Gaura Bhaktagan submit. Then he's begging one by one, all the devotees, each one, and then again at the end submitting. So because this is we are the followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so to understand his mood and mission, the whole practice, so we should hear especially more sweet pastimes are Madhya Leela, Anti Leela, and Adi Leela. If we are lots of philosophy, if you get confused or stuck, then you go to Madhya Leela and Anti Leela, hear, read, then come back to Adi Leela, then you'll be fine. So if you get stuck with Chaitanya Charitamrita, but this should be read, as Professor Prabhupada has given his initial 1968 or 69, Prabhupada heard from Govinda Dasi and Gaur Sundar Prabhu. They are already reading because of TLC they found, and somebody else also said that. Then Prabhupada said, okay, I will translate it. Then Prabhupada quickly translated, 17 books were printed in or 14 books, whatever, 17 months. Very quickly they had to print. So Prabhupada's writing. So that's why we have to give the stress and importance. Especially Adilil, lots of purport. As it goes to end, you may see less purports. Because Prabhupada has very short time. He didn't have time like Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavad, the beginning cantos. There he could write elaborately. His time is short. Within his short span, whatever time, he could give more concise and important verses, purport definitely elaborated it. So that's why we have to pay attention to as per lots of philosophy. So Sri Chaitanya Prabhum Vande Yat Padashraya Viryata Sangranati Akara Vratat Agna Siddhanta Sanmanin. So basically, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is offering his respectful obeisance to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Is telling by taking shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and is represented as a Panchatattva and is spiritual is represented with spiritual masters or Paramparacharyas, then what will happen is we can understand the conclusive truths of the Siddhanta or whole Siddhanta Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Siddhanta Bolia Na Chitte Kara Alas Yaha Hoite Krishna Lagila Sudruda Manas. So when our faith has to be strengthened, means we have to understand the essential truths or conclusive truths of our Sampradaya Siddhanta. And, so that those will be understood, we can digest it, we can assimilate it, we can practice every day without fail. If we take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu every day, so 3 times a day, if not more, that is the main essence. All these are like, he is the real crest jewel of all the avatars. So, it is Sarva Avatara Shiromani, Kevala Ananda Kanda. Parama Karuna Pohudui Jana. So, so Prabhupada's favorite, one of the favorite song. He went into ecstasy when he was singing this song multiple times in Atlanta, in Caracas, in Sitamayapur. So one more place also, I think. So because of that mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how he could appear and he could distribute this mercy to so many places. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. I offer my respect to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with the potency. That is important. By the potency of and shelter of his lotus feet, even a fool can collect the valuable jewels of conclusive truth from the minds of the revealed scriptures. So, because that mercy is the fourth chapter. This whole chapter is foundation verse is the fourth verse of the first chapter. That is called Paribhasa Sutra of Chaitanya Charitamrita, where it is giving the blessings and it is also establishing the external reason of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming down to give the Krishna Prema through the chanting the holy name, especially. That's it is external reason. Internal reason is deep. Next chapter starts discussion is on that. And also the time has come exactly. That is the second minor reason for external reason is 28th Divya Yuga, 28th day of Brahma. Sorry, in one day of Brahma, 28th Divya Yuga, Vaivasva Manvantara. Lord Brahma, Lord Krishna appears, and immediately after Dwapara Yuga, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears. So that also coincided. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, basically. So those are the reasons he's been given. Anarpita Charim Chirat Karunaya Avatirna Kalau. So after so long, it was not given before, this kind of mercy, so easily, so quickly. I simply hearing in one of the verses we are going to look at in the next 11th verse is today's topic, where it's talking about four rasas. How we can you understand? How can we relish it? How can we control the Lord? He will become obliged to be controlled by the Lord. He will be controlled by the devotee, by these four rasas. How one can do that? Simply, it is given in few places. In Madhavendra Puri's case, in Brahma's prayers, one can simply hearing the pastimes of the Lord, he can control the Lord. So, and he can go back home back to God quickly. So, it is a famous verse we know, but purport we may not remember. But there in the purport, it's clearly written, quotation by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, quotation by Sanatana Goswami. Then three different ways. We'll look at that. Verse number 11. Anarpit Charim Chirad. So that's why it is special. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, his shelter, and serving his devotees and following their instruction is very, very important and special. Anarpita Charim Chirad Karunaya Avatirna Kalo Samarpayatam Munnata Ujjalam. This rasa is the highest rasa. Krishna Prema. And Prabhupada also gives wonderful, like there are two examples. We'll look at two things we can relate to. Exactly like these four rasas in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pastime, also Lord Krishna's pastime, Lord Ramachandra's pastime, you will see this. But also, but in a limited capacity, Lord Ramachandra, because he's Ekapatni Vrata, Maryada Purushottam, Ayodhya is more little bit on a respectful or on reverence, little still, even though it is higher than Vaikunta, still it has what do you call Vishramba, no, Gaurava. Gaurava Sakya, Gaurava Vatsalya, Gaurava Dasya, Gaurava Madhurya. So is there. But it's more not that intimate as in Golokunda. There it's very strong, very deep. So we'll look at the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself did these four rasas with four different devotees. Exact verse is there in Madhya Leela chapter 2. Look at that verse. And Prabhupada also gives one example in Chaitanya Charitamrita. These four rasas, how the Madhurya rasa includes all these four rasas in it. Topmost, giving the example when the Lord Brahma's creation, or Lord Vishnu's creation, Lord Brahma's creation, how these five elements appeared. And if you look at the first element and last element is exactly like these four rasas. Prabhupada explains. So how do we understand? Otherwise, Madhurya rasa includes Dasya Sakya, Shanta Dasya Sakya Vatsalya Madhurya. He gives that example as well. So that's why it is a very special what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to give. Anar Charim Charat Karunaya Avatirna Kalo in Kali Yuga has appeared. Avatirna Kalo Samarpayitam is offering that benediction, blessing. May Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu be residing in your heart and give that blessings so that your heart can develop this love, Krishna Prema, in this life and go back home, back to God. That is a blessing. But we have to utilize that blessings of Krishna. We have to follow his instructions. He's telling here, chant, especially taking shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you follow Krishnadas Gauraj Goswami, then definitely it is going to happen. Karunaya avatirna kalu samarpayitam unnata ujjala rasam swabhakti sriyam, his own. So Radharani, as in the mood of Srimad Radha, he is giving that prema. Swabhakti sriyam, Hari Purata, in what form? Hari Purata Sundara Dviti Kadamba Sandipita Sada Hridaya Kandare Spurata Va Sachinandana. Son of Sachimata appeared in that golden color of Srimati Radharani. Now, to look at this verse, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Sringara, this all rasas, the starting point is Ado Shraddha, that verse. Sadhakanam ayam premno pradurbhavet krama. There is step-by-step process to understand, to come from starting with faith, Ado Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sango, Tata Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti Syat, Tada Anishta, Tata Ruchi, Tata Asakti, Bhava, Krishna Prema. These are the eight or nine different stages of bhakti. So when we go from the beginning stages, some more deeper stages, especially after another Ruchi, then we can feel these ecstatic symptoms, feel the connection, feel the rasa, the taste, and some of these things we can actually get realizations about these rasas. In the beginning stage, maybe stage maybe actional, more mechanical, more understanding the theory, but practically may not be, we may not be able to relish much, or we may not be able to get the more realizations on these rasas. Because as you come to Bhava Bhakti, Krishna Prema, then Bhava Bhakti especially, you can relish Asakti Bhava. Deeper stage, these will be revealed. What's our form? At a Krishna Prema, of course, fully, but at the higher stage only these things can be fully understand. Beginning you can understand to some extent. So these four rasas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed with the Dasya rasa with Govinda Das. Govinda Das is such a devotee, is a god brother, but still he has served in so much the intimate menial service with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he didn't care about his own care. So that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to teach that lesson. So Govinda Das was serving, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sleeping. He massaged, he moved this way, that way, then he went, crossed over Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he massaged, still continued on his service. But he didn't do that same thing. He didn't cross over the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to go for his lunch. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu woke up and said, you crossed me anyway for your massage. Why didn't you do that? He said, no, I can't do that. For your service, I am ready to do that. Means any time we have to do service, we have to consider that fact. Is Krishna being pleased? Is Guru being pleased? Is Sadhu being pleased? So if it is, then for that we can sacrifice our life and time and so many our inconveniences. So that's what will attract the Lord. Mercy of the Lord, mercy of the Sadhu, mercy of the Guru. Mm. Nectar devotion repeatedly, Prabhupada is telling that you should serve the spiritual master, you should sacrifice, you should attract his attention. Then Krishna's attention will be there. Mm. Repeatedly is telling, because nectar devotion is all about that only, how to increase that bhakti rasa and attention. So then he served Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, enjoyed his Sakyaras with Ramananda Rai. So he has Ramananda Rai as Arjuna and also Vishaka Sakhi. So in the but specifically in that verse called out as Sakyaras as Arjuna as well. And then Vatsal Ras he enjoyed with Brahmananda, Paramananda Puri. Paramananda Puri is Uddhava from Krishna Leela. He appears as Paramananda Puri in Gaur Leela. So he enjoyed Vatsal Ras as parent, his son. In that way, he enjoyed rasa with him. Then Sringar Ras enjoyed with Jagadananda Pandit, Gadadhar Pandit, a few others. So internal energy. So yeah, I think many of them, many more are there in that category as well. But these two are the prominent. Now, Sarup Damodar Goswami is the most prominent one first, because that is intimate. Lalita and Vishaka. Just like Srimad Radharani, Lalita and Vishaka is the closest. She knows just by the signs of Srimad Radharani, Lalita and Vishaka knows. Just by the signs of Lalita and Vishaka, knows Rupa Goswami what has to be done. Raghunath Das was waiting for the signals from Rupa Goswami. So everything is so connected. The parampara, our parampara, mercy, how it comes. Same way there also, when we go to spiritual order, there also same thing happens. So that's why we have to get it right here. Then when you go there, otherwise we will not be allowed there. If you don't get it right, you don't follow the sadhu and guru. You're not ready to please, understand, hear. So Prabhupada is telling earlier class, here nectar. One should hear, one should, whatever Guru says, whatever is pleasing to Guru, that only we should do. If something is not pleasing to Guru, we should not try to do that activity, even though it is pleasing to us. Prabhupada is telling. Otherwise, it will be not good for us. Is comparing with some other things as well. And then, yeah, in this way, four different rasas Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enjoyed with four different devotees. Because Lord has expanded, created this whole world is for this purpose only. Otherwise, why in the first place he has to create? So that is the example most of the places you will find. So that is the only reason, because variety is the mother of enjoyment. Now let us look at that verse. That this is the verse we're quoting, 278. Purira Vatsalya Mukhya, this Puri means Paramananda Puri. Ramanandera Suddha Sakya. Suddha means pure. These are all pure. No, in material world also we have all these rasas, but is imbued with material tendencies. So material qualities, lower mode, goodness, passion, ignorance. But is this in the transcendental world, while in Bhavarandavan, Bhavamayapur, Jagannath Puri, these devotees are pure devotees, pure associates, eternal associates. So that's why they could have Suddha Rasa. Ramanandera Suddha Sakya, Govindat Dev Suddha Dasyaras, Gadadhara Jagadananda Swarupera Mukhya Rasananda. Ye Chari Bhava Prabhu was. Prabhu was, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was controlled by them. Among his associates, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enjoyed paternal loving affection from Paramananda Puri, friendly affection with Ramananda Roy, unalloyed loving service from Govinda and others, and the humors of conjugal love with Gadadhar, Jagadananda, he did differently. Even the same rasa, with Jagadananda Pandit, he acted completely in a different way. Because different within that also they have different moods. Even though that's why Lord can enjoy this with same Sakyarasa, hundreds of devotees. Because each one has their own mood, own rasa, one way they walk, one way they talk, one way they exchange. So through their, the rasa. So that's what Krishna enjoys in all different ways. With Jagadananda Pandit, when When he becomes angry, that's another mood. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu likes to see what happens, how does he do. Then he pacifies, goes back and pacifies. Jagadanand, can you cook for me? I'm hungry. Then, otherwise he locks his door when he broke that sandalwood oil, thrown in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he said, what is the value of this for sannyasi? I'm not a sense enjoyer. Are you telling me to do that? Use this oil for, go to Jagannath temple and give it there. They will use this oil to burning the lamps. There it has proper use. This is not for sannyasi. Then immediately, as soon as he didn't say utter a single word, he threw it. He became so angry, bolted his in his house. He went back and sat down. So he didn't come out for a few days. Then it was informed to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then he came there and knocked the door and told that I am hungry. Then immediately he jumped up. That is a sacrifice. For his own life, he didn't care. As soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, cook for me, then immediately he jumped, because this is what will please the Lord. Then immediately he did. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and both together. Okay, now today we are going to honor together. And I request, please, you start it, then I will join. Definitely I will join with you. But little later, first you start. In that way, they released. But Lord didn't do exactly the same thing with Gadadhar Pandit. So he did a little bit differently. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard from Gadadhar Pandit from the childhood. They were friends also, intimate rasa. Swarup Damodar, of course, it's even another different way he dealt with him also. Swarup Damodar was an exalted personality. He was completely studied and understood all the scriptures. He used to check. Before anything goes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is the first one. Is the poetry correct? Is this whatever grammar, everything, the understanding, the person has proper consciousness, first of all these things used to be checked. That's a Swarupe Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami is given under the care of Swarup Damodar. As Mahaprabhu told, now I will give you under the care of Swarup Damodar. So he exactly followed. So that's why he got all the mercy. Raghunath Das Goswami. It's always, that's how it is. Guru's representatives, always previous acharyas, sadhu. So by serving, by following, being under the care of a advanced devotee, sadhu, guru, then we can develop these four rasas and relish it and attain perfection. Get trained by these spiritual master and advanced devotees and sadhus. That is the point. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enjoyed all these four mellows, and thus he remained obliged to his devotee. That's what. Lord becomes obliged. Okay, it is done with love. If you want to understand this love, then we have to look at the example of Raghav Pandit. What an example Chaitanya Mahaprabhu describes. Verses after verses, almost 15, 20. You will not find in Chaitanya Charitamrita any other verse like this. With Raghav Pandit, he explains many verses. What, I will just give you example, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu starts. Every day, how much he spends, how much endeavor he does it. Big purports are there. Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur's commentary, Prabhupada writing commentary. One should read. We'll look at some of the verses so that we understand. We should not imitate, but we should be praying to Raga Pandit and Damayanti Mataji. His sister, both of them cooked hundreds of items. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taking their items whole year, every day, whole year. Just as devotees to bring. They used to ask, Govinda, did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took my item, which I offered? Hey, I will ask, I will inquire. And then they used to report, this is what they are asking. Not, but Raghav Pandit's item regularly, every day he took so many different items. At home also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went, Nityananda went. So this is amazing to see his intimate devotion service. Because he is the eternal associate as well. Srimati Radharani is always cooking at different places. One is that place, Raghav Pandit's place. She is always there in the kitchen. So that's why everything, whatever cooking is done, everything is perfect, transcendental, full consciousness. So here, Prabhupada writing, Paramananda Puri is said to have been Uddhava in Vrindavan. His affections with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were on the platform of paternal love. This was because Paramananda Puri happened to be the god brother of spiritual master, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, along with Govinda and Kashishwara or Kashi Mishra. I always get confused between them. Then he asked Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, yes, whatever, if Guru said that go and serve you, then you have to follow. That is the highest order. Even though you may not want to take service from God, brother, because your Guru said so, whatever Guru says, that is your that you have to accept and do it. Doesn't matter whether you like it or not like it, or may not be generally in line with Shastra. So generally you don't take service from God, brother. Especially they are more senior than you, generally. But sometimes, if that is what is pleases Sadhu and Guru and others, if your Guru tells especially, then you better do it because your Guru is telling. Otherwise, it's disobedience automatically. Then naturally everything collapses in devotion. Similarly, Ramananda is considered incarnation of Arjuna, and by some an incarnation of Vishaka Devi, enjoyed unalloyed fraternal love with the Lord. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did his discussions, conversation with different devotees at different levels. Especially Sarup Dhamma Ramananda is in Gambhira last 12 years or so, last 6 years especially even more deeper, discussing Chandidas, Krishna Karnamrita, Belamangal Thakur, all the intimate topics. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's intense separation discussing every day different topics and used to run out from the room. So even though it was locked and everything. But he didn't discuss the same thing. With Haridas Thakur, he discussed about the glories of holy name, how living entity can be delivered. So, Nam Aprad stage, Nam Abha stage, Suddhanam, what are the three stages, how one can come. All those details were being discussed with him. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya discussed about the lots of philosophy. With the same thing with Prakasana Saraswati, Mayavadis. With the six Goswamis, as well Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, on the philosophy of Bhakti, Bhakti Rasas, all these are explained with both of them. So at different levels, at different degrees, so he discussed different topics. He didn't do the same thing with all. He didn't discuss the most confidential Radha Krishna's deeper pastimes, Rasalila, or those kind of pastimes. He didn't discuss with anybody else except the true personalities, Sarup Damodar and Goswami and Ramananda Rai. So that's what we have to understand. We have to follow the similar etiquette. In the presence of his most confidential devotees like Gadadhar Pandit, Jagadananda, Sarup Damodar, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enjoyed the ecstatic conditions of Srimati Radharani in her conjugal relationship with Krishna. Absorbed in these four transcendental mellows, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu resided in Jagannath Puri, feeling very much obliged to his devotees. So we have to become obliged. That's when the Guru is obliged by our sincere, loving service, sincere, loving attachment to what Guru has to say. Each and every word is like a jewel. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya. And you note it, you follow it. As much as possible, try to follow it. Especially the most important instruction. Prabhupada is stressing, Guru is stressing. Prabhupada is Guru is stressing regularly. You have to note down those things and keep doing it. Try to keep doing it more and more, deeper way, more loving way. Not so much result. Yes, we can liquidate the results, but it should be trying to endeavor and to please. It should be pleasing. Results could be small or big. It can vary. So Prabhupada always liked big results, but of course, that stalwart devotees can do. In our level, it's difficult to do at that level what Prabhupada wanted. And now look at this is Raghav Pandit's example. Madhavendra Puri's example is been given that in Madhavendra Puri's example, how Lord is controlled because of the intensity of his devotion, Madhuri Ras especially. So there it is explained that because he has intimate, this intimacy can be, this control can only be done. Lord will be controlled by the devotee when he is engaged, especially in hearing. Lots of hearing, absorbed hearing every day. The famous verse of Lord Brahma's prayers. One should know that purport in and out. It's a very beautiful purport. How the body should be utilized, how the mind should be utilized, how the speech should be utilized. Tanu, Van, Manovir. Tanu means body, walk means speech, words, Mano, mind. These three things. How it utilized different ways. How the materialists use that, how the non-devotees use it, and how the devotees use it. Sanatana Goswami, different acharyas are giving the commentary on that. Gnane, Prayasam, not even one endeavor should be there on the mental speculation. Everything should be aligned, Prabhupada writing. Not even one. It's telling not to do any kind of speculation at all. Strictly to follow the Acharya's instructions very clearly in Prabhupada writing. Look at that verse and then we'll come to Raghav Pandit's example. Beautiful verses. Each verse is amazing. 10th canto. Dane prayasam udapasya namanta eva sanmukar sat mukaritam. One should give up his mental speculation and hear from the acharyas, bona fide sampradaya, bona fide acharyas. 10, 14, 14. Mass prayers. I think 8 words. Jnane prayasam udapasya namanteva. Udapasya namanta eva. Means offering obeisances and hearing. Namanta eva sat mukaritam. From the mouths of the pure devote. Bhavadiya vartam. The topics of the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme. Bhavadiya vartam. Sthane stuti gata. Doesn't matter wherever you see. You are at home, you are at temple. Ideally, yes, when sadhus come, you should be in person as much. When things are not possible, what can you do? At least you try to do virtually. But wherever we could be, again, Kali it's very difficult. Many times it's difficult. But we try because Lord knows our consciousness, whether we are escaping or whether we are really serious and sincere, genuine reason you are not able to make it. Lord will know. Guru also will know. Sadhu also will know. So that is not a problem. But if we are not genuine, then it's a problem. When we have opportunity, but still we give some excuses not to be there in person when the opportunity is there, then that should be avoided. And that's what is clearly mentioned in this verse, how one should hear. Jnane prayasa udapasya namanteyo satpukaritam bhavadiya vartam sthane stuti gatam tanuvan manobhe. Ajita, jita strailokyam. Prayase, jita, ajita strailokyam. One cannot be conquer the Lord. Lord cannot be controlled so easily, but only, I think, 8th verse or 12th verse, I forget. Famous purport. No, this is also famous verse. Anybody remembers verse number? Check. Okay, we'll look at the Raghav Pandit's case and then example, beautiful example. Raghav Pandite kahe na vachana sarasa, tumara suddha prema amahaya tumara vas. Because we are discussing these pastimes because so that we understand. Otherwise, how do we are not, none of these rasas, we are in that. We are not that stage to release these 4 rasas directly. Neither even Das-ras, we think we are doing service, master servant. We are worshipping the Lord as Lakshmi Narayan. That's what Prabhupada said. But we are not relishing that at that deeper level. Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. But when we understand how to do that practice, slowly, gradually intensify our practice, when we look at the examples of Raghav Pandit, when we look at the examples of Kulina Vasi devotees, Kulina Gram, because they associate, they followed Gunaraj Khan and Haridas Thakur. Srinath Pandit, so was the spiritual master of Sivananda Sen's third son, Kavi Karnapur. He was a disciple of Advaita Acharya. Beautifully written, Sriman Pandit. How great, exalted, how his worship of the deity was so intense, so absorbed. He installed beautiful deities, Krishna Roy and 3 or 4 different deities, Radha and Krishna's deities. Intensity. So when we read and hear these pastimes, then we understand how to do this devotion service on a day-to-day basis. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu next spoke some relishable words to Raghav Pandit. He said, I am obliged to you due to your pure love for me. What did he do on an everyday basis? What is his rasa? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then informed him, just hear about the pure devotion service rendered to Krishna by Raghav Pandit. Indeed, Raghav Pandit's service is supremely pure and highly accomplished. Apart from other commodity, just hear about his offering of coconuts. A coconut is sold at the rate of 5 gandas each. He had hundreds of coconuts, but what is he doing? On the same way he did with many fruits, many things, not only fruits, cakes, various items, whatever he's offering. Although he already has hundreds of trees and millions of fruits, he's still very eager to hear about the place where sweet coconuts are available. So that's the endeavor has to be there. When we come to temple, when we meet the sadhu, always we understand what they like. So then accordingly we offer. Because everybody knows Chaitanya Mahaprabhu what he likes. He likes various kinds of spinach. So according to that, and whatever is fresh, Prabhupada like always fresh fruits, according to the season, according to that location. So Prabhupada used to like, because his morning breakfast is mostly fruits, most of the time. Mm. Sometimes puffed rice he was taking all day, also in the night while he's translating and all. But mainly this one, fruits. So he is still very eager. So that eager, one has to be eager whenever we serve the sadhu and the deities, the devotees. This eagerness has to be there. I want to serve. I want to, even though it extra mile one has to go. This is sacrifice. This is what gives the intensity to come to these four rasas deeper way. Otherwise, we can't come. He collects coconuts with great endeavor from a place 20 miles away, and he pays for 4 panas each for them. And one should be ready. If you have to receive sadhu, you have to go to JFK, we should be ready. Mm. Yeah, somehow or the other, you have to adjust and sacrifice as much as sometimes it may not be possible, but or you arrange, you find yourself and arrange. And so, yeah, our business is always serving the sadhu, pleasing the sadhu. This is how, when we understand these pastimes, we have to do our bit. Quite a bit, not a little bit, quite a bit. Every day we have to endeavor like this. Every day, 5 to 7 coconuts are clipped and put into water to keep cool. That means everything is so clean also. That is also, you'll see that in Raghav Pandit's case. Supremely clean. Prabhupada also gives that one. Don't imitate, try to imitate. In our endeavor, Prabhupada trained the devotees. When you enter into kitchen, everything has to be clean. Top, bottom, nothing should be there at the bottom. When you cook also, don't keep things everywhere. So Prabhupada is very method, very systematic, how he trained. Washing the hands, everything has to clean. Proper cleanliness has to be there. Because the offering is going to the Supreme Lord, to the Guru. When Guru is there personal with you, when Guru is there next to you, Lord is next to you, how will you do it? So that's how much one should be careful. So all at this time of offering bhoga, the coconuts are again clipped and cleansed. After holes are made in them, at the top they are offered to Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna drinks the juice from these coconuts. Sometimes the coconuts are left drained of juice. At other time, the coconut remain filled with juice. That means Lord is showing this past. Sometimes he used to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu right there. Lord is taking and then immediately is refilling. Sometimes finished. That means you offer, nothing is there. Plate is empty. That's what he did. And then he used to take the pulp and offer. Lord used to finish that also. Nothing used to be there. Sometimes it used to be there, sometimes not used to be there. That means you can understand. Then more his ecstasy is even increasing further. Such an intimate pastimes. This is also, anybody can come to this stage to some extent. You can take their position, but to the larger degree of this extent, one can come when you have that endeavor, intensity to serve the Lord like that, to serve the sadhu, especially serve the sadhu like that. We have to think every day, even though we may be serving Radha Krishna, we may be serving Gaurnita, whichever deity we are serving, but we have to think that I am serving Guru and Sri Prabhupada. Through them only I am getting up. But every time we have to remember that, before and after, always. We have to be so grateful, so submissive. We have to ask their forgiveness every time. Every time. Through them only Lord is accepting. Through all the parampara acharyas it is going through. So that's the one submission has to be. That's how only we can develop the love. That's how only Lord will give the proper intelligence. How you want, what you want, how much. Everything will be revealed. If you are properly conscious before and after, things will be start revealing. Otherwise, nothing will be revealed. We will do just same thing again and again. Repeated mistakes we will do with offenses also. That will go on. So that it is a lot to do with submission here to the Paramparacharyas. When Raghav Pandit sees that the juice has been drunk from the coconut, he is very pleased. He then breaks the coconut, takes out the pulp and put it on another plate. Because simplicity is also there. Another thing. Coconut is a simple item. Anyway, everywhere it is there. What is so big deal to offer? But, so that simplicity is there, then the Lord will accept with a great love. Because in Bengal, especially dab is very wonderful item they offer regularly, and Lord also likes. Many of our spiritual masters also likes coconut water, fresh coconut water. Many devotees like it. So after offering the pulp, he meditated outside the temple door. In the meantime, Lord Krishna, having eaten the pulp, leaves the plate empty. Is that? So it is almost like that. Raghunandan Thakur also, Lord ate laddu. So like that. Sometimes after eating the pulp, Krishna fills the plate again and new pulp with new pulp. In this way, the faith of Raghav Pandit increases. He floats in ocean of love. This is also Lord will do at a smaller level. He is eternal associate, he will do at that level. For us, if you are very eager and deep absorption is there to really want to please and you are crying for it, then Lord also will give small revelations, small things he will hint, he will give. And we will start to see that if you pay attention, if you are submissive enough. Otherwise, we won't be able to see because that's what Professor Bhakti Pareshana Bhavo Viraktir Anyatra Syat. How do you know your anarthas are cleared? You'll know. When you're eating, somebody else has to tell you your stomach is full. No, you'll know. Bhakti, Paresham, Virakti. These three things are compared. Tushti, Pushti, Kshud, Apaya. Your hunger will be gone. You're no more hungry for these material things. It's all this. Exactly. You'll know. Only if you are hearing properly or chanting properly, with great love and submission is there, then only these things will be known clearly. What is going on? What stage I'm in? What anarthas are blocking me? What offenses are blocking me in my chanting? Everything we will know. Only if you are properly submissive and properly lovingly doing it, not as oh, it's a great burden. Oh, I have to wake up now. If we see it as a duty, then no, we won't be able to know what's going on in our life. Sometimes after reading the pulp, Krishna, on this we read further continues. Beautiful purport. Each and every verse is very nice. One day it so happened that about 10 coconuts were properly clipped and brought by a servant to offer to the deity. When the coconuts were brought, there was little time to offer to them because it was already late. The servant holding the container of coconut remained standing at the door. Raghav Pandit then saw that the servant touched the ceiling above the door and then touched the coconut with the same hand. That means dirtiness is there. Raghav Pandit then said, people are always coming and going through that door. The dust from their feet blows up and touches the ceiling. So that's why as much as possible we have to even close the plate. So many things we have to be considering. So when we are in the kitchen, not others should know. We should not take pictures and distribute. Afterwards, maybe okay, but not before. This is between the Lord and the Pujari. Nobody should know these items, what's going on, what are we cooking. All these things we should avoid, especially in deity kitchen. Other kitchen, okay, fine, no problem. But because it is between the Lord, he should know. Because otherwise, anybody can desire. Oh, I like, oh, this item very nice. So then Lord may not accept it. Because somebody else has desired already. So that's why we have to be careful of these things. After touching the ceiling above the door, you have touched the coconut. Now they are no longer fit to be offered to Krishna because they are contaminated. Nice purport Prabhupada writing. Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says that Raghav Pandit was not simply a crazy fellow suffering from some cleaning mania. He did not belong to the mundane world. In lower consciousness, accepting something to be spiritual when it is actually material is called Bhauma Ijjadi. Raghav Pandit was the eternal servant of Krishna. His saw was related to the service of the Lord. He was always absorbed in transcendental thought how he could always serve Krishna with everything. Sometimes neophyte devotees on the lower platform try to imitate Raghav Pandit on the platform of material purity and impurity. Such imitation will not help anyone. Bhadra is a famous verse Prabhupada quotes. Bhadra, Ganes of Manodharma. Ei Bala, Ei Manda, Ei Sabam, Brahma. One should be careful of that imitation. So, such is the service of Raghav. He did not accept the coconut, but threw them over the wall. His service is purely based on unalloyed love, and it conquers the whole world. It doesn't stop there. Thereafter, Raghav Pandit had other coconuts gathered, cleansed, clipped, and with great attention. Great attention with great submission. Everything is very, very particular. Every item, every ingredient, what you put, spice, whatever you put, everything has to be properly, high quality, everything to the best of our ability. If things are not good, it's fine, but to the best of our ability, we should. That's why it needs time. Cooking means it needs lots of time. Preparation, planning, getting the resources, cooking, lots of time you have to spend. A little bit hurry, worry, no, we can't please the Lord. Hurry, worry is not going to work here. Then we can't do proper service. It cannot be attentively done. If the attention is not there, what kind of quality we can give to the Lord? No, we can't give. So this has to be thought through. Or you have to take help from others because Lord has to be pleased. Lord has to be served properly. So to that extent, whatever needs, we have to take that help and that thing arrangements. We have to make it because ultimately it is for His pleasure, not for our pleasure. I like to cook, but is it really pleasing the Lord? This has to be considered. Many times we don't like to hear these feedbacks, but that is the reality. Who are you doing it for? Yes, I like to do service, but is it really pleasing? Is it according to proper standards? Is it according to our Guru standards? This has to be considered. Then only, otherwise, devotion service is only it's a mechanical, outward, not internalized the principles. So then it won't really help to increase our, so bhakti stages go, further stages, advanced stages of devotion service if we do constantly like that without deeper thoughts. With great attention, that's what great attention means. We have to pay attention there. In this way, from distant villages, he collects, this is the point, not coconut only. From distant villages, he collects excellent bananas, mangoes, oranges, jackfruits, whatever other first class fruits. That's what that means. We have to look for any local fruits, any nice fruit. Somebody said, oh, this mango is very nice, very tasty. Go and buy it. Then immediately you buy it and you offer to the Lord. So like that, wherever you hear, you find out your research or somebody else. Devotee non doesn't matter. So you find and you gather those things for all, especially for the festivals. Every day may not be possible, but at least for festivals we should endeavor. That's how we have to please. So Ram Navami, Narsingh Chaturdashi, many festivals are coming up. So we should care, we should endeavor as much as the planning, execution, all this. Bhakti is always about this. Prabhupada, how much he planned. His whole life is planning and execution. So that's why it is the same thing we have to apply. Principles. First class fruit he has heard about. And further it is written, what and all other items. All these fruits are collected from distant places and brought at a higher price. He already had many, but still he didn't stop there. After trimming them with great care and purity, see that great care and purity, Raghav Pandit offers them to the deity. And then he offered cakes and many other items. Thus, with great care, Raghav Pandit prepares spinach, because Mahaprabhu is special, other vegetables, radishes, fruits, chipped rice, powdered rice, and sweetmeats. Cakes are also there. He prepares cakes, sweet rice, condensed milk, and everything else with great attention. This is exactly the same thing you will find in Madhavendra Puri's case. Why he was desired to taste it? Because he wants to know. That's why we have to taste Mahaprasad, a little bit at least. You have to take it. Because otherwise, how will we know what we cooked? How did it come out? Salt is good. Spice is good. The taste came out proper. Is it burned? What has happened? Everything you have to know. And you have to keep improving, improving, improving. It has to go deeper and deeper and deeper. There's always scope for improvement. Always. In every service we do. You're not perfect. Prabhupada's expert is Daksha. He can do anything. Perfect in time. Clean. Everything was paka. That is, anybody who tasted even little bit, their heart was full, their stomach is full. Even though little bit prasadam only Prabhupada distributed sometimes. Because pure devotee cooking with so much love. So naturally, it fills the heart. It fills the stomach automatically. So here you can see that how is offering so many items, not just fruits, but everything. Great endeavor, great attention, faith, submission. So this is what we have to learn. And then we come to all these rasas, whatever rasa we have in from eternally, that will be revealed to us when we engage like this. We could be in Dasiras, we could be in Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, or we could be in Chantaras. Chantaras means we are in rivers, oceans, the trees, the plants. They also shout when Krishna is playing the flute, he was glorifying Lord Balaram. See Balaram, how the trees are bending down and offering their fruits for you, offering their obeisances. The birds, everybody is waiting. The deers are coming, the bees are humming, so coming. So all these things, they're all ready to serve. And all of them, Shantras, what does the Shantras means? And then Dasiras, also many names are given. Most of the even Krishna Lila also. Rakta, Patrak, many other names are given. And Nectar devotion, especially in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. And Srimad Bhagavatam also. And Sakyaras, many are there. Madhumangal, Stav Krishna, Arjuna, Ojasvi, Varutapa, many, many names. Subal, Sridham, you name it. Hundreds of them. Billions of gopis, billions of cohort boys. So, Brahad Bhagavatam, that example, Gopakumar. So we also could be. So any of us could be. So there is no limitation of how a devotee can, from any stage he can go to that highest rasas. So Sakya and Vatsalya, Nanda Yashoda is there, and many others, elderly gopis. Then Madhurya, billions of gopis, every one of them are there in that rasa. And many of our acharyas are all manjaris, many of them, pretty much manjaris in our sampradaya, especially from Madhavendra Puri down, pretty much most of them. We hear their manjaris names, Kamal Manjari, Nayana Manjari, Guna Manjari, Rupa Manjari. So they're all assisting Lalita and Vishaka. They're waiting for their signals, waiting for their instruction, how, what ingredient, everything. So deep, they understand. They will do exactly as per the mood and instruction of Srimati Radharani coming through Lalita and Vishaka, coming down in that chain of succession. Rupa Manjari down, further down. So they relish. Sometimes they are directly put in the service of Radha and Krishna directly because they are saying so. Their guru is telling, now today you be there directly. Those opportunities will come. Sometimes it happens also while being here also. Guru may tell in front of him only he may ask us to do certain things. So, yes, and whatever he asks, we have to do uh, by taking his shelter and mercy. So that's what will please Guru and the Lord. So that's how we can develop these four rasas, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu specifically becomes controlled in the Lord Krishna, becomes controlled by these rasas, that mood, but this cannot be imitated. Now I am a gopi, Guru Maharaj give recently examples. One sannyasi on Prabhupada's time was there. One sannyasi was doing like this, so clapping, because he was thinking somebody told him that some another Babaji or something, you are a bird or you are a peacock or some bird or something. So that's why I'm trying to, don't tell anybody, but I'm trying to practice this. But this cannot be imitated like that. So, Prabhupada has given this process, that stage of consciousness, these rasas cannot be imitated. We'll artificially think that I'm now covered by, I'm a gopi now. I'll dress as a gopi, I'll talk as a gopi. I'll think and many things on that level. And this is a completely wrong idea and wrong conception. So Prabhupada warned about this many places in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, in Krishna book, Nectar Devotion, many places Prabhupada is warning on that aspect. So that we have to follow exactly the verse of this Gnane Prayasam, lots of hearing. The further, so 8 to 3 will stop. Raghav Pandit also offers all kinds of pickles such as Cosmondi. He offers various scents, garments, ornaments, best of everything. See, anything missing, everything included. Not only cooking, but he's offering ornaments, garments, everything. Various scents, pretty much whatever Lord needs. He's always hankering to serve. What possible? What can I serve? How can I serve? What can I buy? What can I offer? He's always Lord instructed many different devotees. Raghav Pandit is one example, but is elaborately glorified Raghav Pandit like anything because years after years he has served like that. Nityananda Prabhu is served like that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is served like that. So with great intimacy, great attention. Many other examples throughout Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will see that. Then you can develop all the our rasas if you try to endeavor, at least some on our level and our capacity, we can try to do by praying to these great personalities. We can develop some consciousness by their mercy. Then we can do it. Thus, Raghav Pandit serves the Lord in incomparable way. Everyone is very much satisfied just to see him, just to see him. Just like as much as we love to see Grace Jananivas Prabhu, Pankajangri Prabhu, 50 plus years of service, 84 or 85 years recently. That Vyas Puja. That's what it is because that is what the service, deeper attachment and deep relationship with the Lord and the Guru and the devotees. And this is what helps one to come to the perfection of understanding these rasas. Yeah, that's how we can perfect our life. That is the essence of pretty much today's verse. Time is up already, but we should look at anybody would find out the verse purport. With that, we should stop. Already time is late. 1 minute. Let me check the verse number. It is a very important purport. Uh, 10:14:03. How did we miss that? 14:03. purport by Srila Prabhupada. Here the word Udapasya clearly indicates one should not even slightly endeavor to understand the absolute truth by the process of mental speculation, for it is invariably carries one to imperfect, impersonal understanding of the God. The word Jivant indicates devotee always. This is the point. See that, make it note. The word Jivanti means prana heto prachar, bhakti like that, indicates that devotee always hears about Lord Krishna, will go back home, back to Godhead, even if he can do nothing except maintain his existence and hear topics concerning the Lord. So this we have to practice every day. Hear from Prabhupada, hear from Guru, and hear those who are aligned with the Guru and Acharyas, Prabhupada's principles. Sri Sanatana Goswami explained the word Tanuvan. These are also very important purport. In the three ways, in difference to devotees, through their body, words, mind, they are able to conquer Lord Krishna. So thus becoming perfect in Krishna, they can touch his lotus feet with their hands, call him to come with their words, and attain his direct audience within their mind simply by thinking about him. So that's why these principles are there. Many things are there. That's why in all our deity worship, all these things, Achmanim, Padyam, Margyam, Naivedyam, please come and Swagatam, Suswagatam, all these things are there. You use your science, inviting the Lord, then go back Lord, to your seat. All these things are there, so personal. But we have to pay attention. Exact procedures, whatever is given, it is to develop that loving rasa relationship. Actually, Lord is there. I am there trying to assist my guru, and then you are feeling it clearly, and then I have to make sure I do it. I can't miss one step because this is just like when your guest comes, how will you do it? So that's why this is very important principle what is being laid out here. Tanuvan Manobir, how you serve the deity and sadhu also. In case of non-devotees, the word Tanuvan Manobi refers to unconquered, indicate that they are not engaged in loving service. Krishna cannot be conquered by their bodily strength, verbal expertise, mental power, like Duryodhana. Try to offer many things. No, Lord will not, he is not obliged. Even a devotee also, they offer without taking shelter of Tulsi Maharani, no Tulsi, no shelter, no submission. You offer, yes, I did a great cooking, not going to accept. He's not looking for great cooking. He's looking for with simplicity and love. Really, you want to please the Guru, then Lord will accept. Mm. So that is the principle. In reference to the word Jita conquered, the word Tanuvan Manovi indicate that pure devotee of Lord Krishna conquers his body, words, mind. Lord Krishna's body is conquered because always remains by the side of his pure devotees. Nirapeksham Munim Santam Nirvairam Sarvabhutesh Puyet Angri. Lord is running behind his pure devotees. Lord Krishna's words are conquered because he always chants the glories of his devotees. Lord is always glorious. Lord Krishna's mind is conquered because he always thinks about his loving devotees. With loving devotees. That means not just devotee, loving devotees. Because they are hankering to see him, hankering to serve him, hankering to understand him, hankering. He is praying. Oh my Lord, I have no love. I don't understand how to serve, what to serve. I have no idea. I want to develop loving relationship with you though. I have no qualification either. I'm so sinful. I'm full number one. Then please you tell me. Every day you submit like this. Before chanting, before hearing, before service, then Lord will start revealing slowly, gradually. If you regularly submit and really mean it with your heart and soul, then Lord has to, because you're really feelingly submitting like that, then Lord has to respond. Lord has to help us. If you don't feelingly really submitting like that, what is why he has to be obligated to reciprocate and give the help, give the intelligence? No, he is not obligated because we were not really seeking. We were thinking, I already know many of these things, so then he's not obligated. So that is what it means, Tanuvan Manovir. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti explained Tanuvan with regards to the word Namanta offering obeisances. He explains that the devotees can take full advantage of the transcendent topics of the Lord by offering all respects to those topics with their body, words, mind. That's why I was telling. These examples I'm giving, more on that line only. One should submit like that every day. In your own words and thoughts, you can change, adjust, but I'm just giving some examples how we can offer feelingly with love and submission. And that's why Acharya has written so many songs, Narottam Das Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, with so much great feeling, intensified feeling. Mm. Yeah, Prabhupada writes for poetry and all, one should be just like follow Krishna, follow the Acharyas in what mood. to write something, poetry also, we have to have certain qualification. Prabhupada writes in some of the verses, Chaitanya Charitamrita. One should engage his body by touching the ground with his hands and head while offering obeisance to the topics of the Lord. One should engage his words by praising transcendental literature such as Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. And that's why before the class, when Jay Dhwani, you offer, Prema Dhwani, you offer obeisances. During the class also, even though we might have just did in the Arati, at the end of Arati. No, even then it is important. Offering obeisance is so important, with feelingly. Doesn't matter, junior speaking, senior speaking, who's speaking, doesn't matter. Because they're all representative as they, then we have to do it. Like it or not like it, doesn't matter. This is the process. At the end of class also you submit, because this is the process. That is what Namananda Eva. So much stress is given here. We have to take it. We have to apply it. It's not only theory and we don't do it, then it's not actually helping us to go deeper. So that's why obeisance is so important. One should engage his words by praising transcendental literatures, and as well as the devotees who are preaching such literatures, and one should engage his mind by feeling great reverence. See the adjectives Prabhupada is writing, not just reverence, great reverence. And this is what we are talking the class as well. Great submission, before, after chanting, before, after hearing, before, after service. It is needed because we are so conditioned now. We tend to do mistakes, tend to become envious, tend to become jealous, many things. If you repeatedly submit, then naturally, slowly, Lord will purify our heart. He will remove all the unwanted clutter. We treat and serve and love everyone. And naturally, we go deeper and deeper. Then everything will be revealed to us. Or advancement will happen to us automatically. When that is not there, then it cannot happen like that advancement. By feeling great reverence and pleasure while hearing transcendental topics of the Lord. In this way, sincere devotee, every word is so cautiously used. Sincere devotee who has acquired even a small amount of transcendental knowledge about Lord Krishna, because it's so simple in his heart. He's so happily, lovingly doing whatever service he gets, opportunity he is trying to do his best just to please Guru and Acharyas and Sadhu and the Lord. So that's why, even though it is little only is doing, but is getting the tremendous happiness and credits and blessings and advancement. Lord Krishna can conquer him and thus go back home, back to Godhead for eternal life at the Lord's side. In this life only. It doesn't take another lifetime. We follow simply this principle, what is laid out in this purport. This very wonderful purport, Ramananda Rai's conversation, all this verse is there. A very important purport. We have to take it to the heart, and we should apply these principles every day, especially on festivals. So when we are in the Sangha of devotees, we should apply these principles and serve and follow according to Prabhupada's desires. Then everything becomes fruitful and wonderful, and we relish it. Bhakti, more and more we will relish it. Otherwise, it doesn't become religion. Always in anxiety, frustration, unhappiness. So that is material world is all like that. Why we have to be like this while practicing bhakti? So yeah, thank you very much, Hare Krishna. Amra Srimad Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktam ki jai. We'll stop here, already we went over time. Please forgive me for that. I think it's better not to take questions. If you have corrections, you can tell me in the comments.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Krishna. Wonderful. Anybody has any comments? Anything? Any questions or any realizations? Just right to the point what you mentioned. Any realizations? Okay. Seems like everybody's so convinced. That's great.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone.
So let's chant together. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubheva cha padidanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Vaishnavanda ki jai.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Haribol, nice class. Thank you, Haribol.
Nanta Gaudi Vaishnavanda ki jai. Guru Premanande Hari Hari. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Krishna.